Hi friends, I'm Olga Koelsch and welcome to my studio. Today we will paint 5 beautiful roses in a very simple, beginner-friendly technique. I hope you will like the process. So, let's start. Let's paint these nice roses in 5 different ways. Or let's say we will just take this one for an inspiration and let's see what we'll get at the end. So for a basic color, for a basic mixture, I take quinacridone rose, very diluted, and just with a hint of any green from your palette to make it not this Barbie pinkish, but a pleasant, nice, dusty pink color. And let's start from the middle of the rose with tiny little strokes, C strokes. So this is the middle of our rose. Clean the brush, drag out the color very carefully, drag out the color. Again, take our mixture, C strokes, which gets a bit thicker and bigger, one row around, and again wash the brush, clean the brush, and drag out the color. Bold mixture, bigger strokes. To get the bigger strokes, you start with the tip of the brush, press on the belly, let it go. Tip of the brush, press on the belly, let it go. Tip of the brush, press on the belly, let it go. Wash the brush, drag out the color, drag out the color, wash it out around. The farther you go from the middle of the rose, the bigger and lighter petals are. Let's keep this in mind. Now we're making very big, lovely petals around, like this, like this. Press on the belly, let it go, add some random strokes around to make some volume, to make it look natural. Take a bit of drier color, dry and darker color, and add to the root of the petals randomly, and again a little bit to the middle, and drag out this color. Rose number 1 is ready. Rose number 2, 2 steps. For the first step, I prepare very diluted mixture, very diluted, almost water looks like, and just prepare something, some circle. I paint some circle, very random, very pale, just like this, which is also pretty nice and could count as a rose number 2A, and let it here for now to dry out. Rose number 3 will be English rose. Unfortunately, I do not have English roses in my studio, but we will manage. English roses have very specific middle, which now looks more like a daisy, but no worries, we will get to our rose, we'll make it. Rose looks like, we just prepare this part where petals grows like this, a little bit vertical. If you look from the top, fill in the gap with some bolder color. And now we repeat the same technique as here, but we're starting already with bigger strokes, and we put them around our middle part. And now you could see already our English rose appears. We add some random lines around and thicker strokes to show petals which grow out of the bud, like this, like this. Try to be not very symmetrical. Let's emphasize the middle with bold mixture around. Add some details, fill in some gaps, connect middle of the rose and petals, the petals part. This is nice. And add again some shades randomly. Bud of the rose, which will look like something like this. This will be our example. We paint oval strokes like this, randomly. Wash the brush and make the shape of the bud with very diluted color. Our front petal will be mostly on the sunshine, so it should stay as white as you can. Better add some shades on this shady side, like this, and a little bit on the bottom, maybe here, to form this curve. And let's add a few very pale petals around. It grows around. I like to add some white space to divide petals. Could try this. Here, there, something on the back. Nice. Shades to divide petals a bit more and emphasize the bottom. And to make it looks natural, let's add a stem. For a stem, I'm taking hookah green with a hint of our quinacridone rose. And let's paint the stem and these leaves. For these leaves, we start with the tip of the brush, press on the belly, let it go. Again, tip of the brush, press on the belly, let it go. And one more, probably here. Tip of the brush, belly, let it go. I like how this pink and green color mix into each other. Add a few tiny little details. Done. Number 5. For number 5, take our mixture, bold mixture. Again, we start the middle with tiny little strokes and we make them a little bit more curvy. Drag out the color in between. Paint these curvy parts of rose. The farther you go from the middle, the bigger the petals are, the bigger and braver should be your strokes. And now we are filling in the gaps in between these white spaces, white petals. Add some color to the bud, like this. Add some fluffiness, shape around here to make it natural, to make it vivid. One petal could grow a little bit aside because our rose opens like this. That adds some contrast with with a darker color to divide petals and add some shades around. Let's divide all the petals here like this, and again would be nice to add some stem. I'm taking green color, making stem. These tiny leaves, tip of the brush, belly of the brush, some curve, and one could go from behind, tip of the brush, belly of the brush, and let the colors mix. Add some tiny little details like this, and let's back to our rose 2A. Now we repeat the same technique as we have with rose number 1. We are taking the bolder color, starting from the middle, making C shapes, maybe a little bit more curvy to make roses different, and drag out the color, strokes, curvy strokes, and drag out the color with very wiggling movements of your brush like this. Make the line, drag out the color, another line, and drag out the color. Add some contrast to the roots of the petals to make it brighter, but always be careful. You could add color and water only while the part is still wet. Once it starts to dry, don't touch anything. We will talk about this later in the other videos. Also, we are almost done with this rose. I want to add some nice curves around, and we have it. Some shades, final touches. It's always important to stop at the right moment, which is sometimes difficult. And this is it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 roses. So this is it for today. Thank you very much for joining. I hope you like it. I'm very curious to see your results. Please feel free to tag me on Instagram, olga.koelsch. I would be happy to share, and leave any feedback on your comments. What did you like? What you would like to paint on the next time? That means a lot. Subscribe my channel. See you next time. Bye bye.